Kick off, the crowd favourite. We have got probably 2,000, maybe 3,000 people here at BB Print. We are underway. Grand Final 2022. History in the making. Marymount to receive. It's going to be dived on there by Bartolo. You can hear the crowd. They're pretty happy. So they got the ball back, St. Pat's. Lockford goes to run and Gracie White. And Gracie White gets to the 20-metre line. Underneath the tackle there, Piper Stockwell. Now it's with a prop forward, Kira Thompson, and Thompson drives towards the 10-metre line. Dummy half is Peyton Johns, and Johns will wait for it. Slow play the ball. They go to the blind side, and they're going to throw the forward to Chelsea McLeod. And McLeod denied by the defence of Marymount. 5 out from the try line. They've got a back line to the right-hand side. Do they come their way? Lawson turns an underball here. It's a Wheeler. 5 short. Last tackle now, says the referee. To the right, kick into the in goal area. Chase is coming through, needs to be knocked dead in goal. Was it touched? No, says the touch judge. That'll be 7 tackle restart. My name's John Devine. Joining me for this history-making game is Michael Crutcher. And, well, they completed a set, but how good?
What a great atmosphere, John. Like you said, lots of people here. It's got a real carnival feel about it. There's an early penalty for a high tackle, but just a great feel. We can see the stands on this side, so you can't see them in camera shot. They are packed, and we've got more this afternoon with the St. Pat's Mackay boys team in the Shield semi-final. So just how these teams got here. St. Pat's Mackay won 3 of their 4 pool games. They defeated St. Margaret Mary's from Townsville, St. Joseph's from Toowoomba, and they also defeated Shalom College from Bundaberg and lost to MAS College Jimboomba. Marymount College, all 4 games they won.
Marymount are with the ball, and that's with Piper Stockwell, and Stockwell draws 4 defenders here from St. Pat's, but she gets across the halfway line. Dummy half is Sheeta, slow play the ball. It's in the hands of Samuels, and Samuels will throw the lock forward and Colk to the line here, the skipper. Good ball and all tackle from the opposite 13 there, and Gracie White. They come to this blind side with Samuels, now throws the the front rower, Healy Harris at the line. Last tackle, that was pretty quick. I'm sure that was 5, but anyway, crossfield kick here come from Sheeta. End over end, it's a wobbly old ball, and the chases are good. Loses the footy, play on, says the referee. Chance in the corner, Newton's going to be denied. They've got to scramble now, have St. Pat's. 8 out from the try line, so Marymount on the charge. They've got half a back line here. They go to the blind side, trying to get across the line now as the centre in Hoth. And Hoth will get up underneath the tackle there of Johns. Reaching out is Colk. She'll take the tackle of 3 defenders. 5 out from the try line. Centre of the BB Print Stadium. They come to the left-hand side. Has to reach to the sky here. In the hands now of the halfback and Samuels. Oh, it's gone backwards. What's the referee say? Play on. Wasn't touched. Still got 2 tackles to go. Ferguson, close to the line. She's only about 2 metres short. Looking for the referee's arm. There's still a couple of tackles to go. They go to the right-hand side. Crossfield kick here from Sheetha. It's up high, taken in the corner, pops it back inside. Chance, try time, goes over and scores, and Liberty Hoth will score in the corner there for Marymount.
Well, if you're new to the Confraternity Carnival Girls competition, that is what it can do. That's a fantastic try from Marymount. They went both sides. Here they go to the right-hand side. The kick, no problems trying that kick. They were compressed a bit, the Pats Mackay defence. The take is there, and as they're going over the offload, no problems at all. That is a quality try going over in the tackle as well. So that is what this Confro Carnival Girls competition has thrown up so far. This is only the first final, as John, as you've said, yet we're seeing that standard of play right through this week. It's been fantastic to watch.
Emily Sheetha there with her crossfield kick. It looked pretty ugly there at one point there. They were outnumbered, weren't they, on that left-hand edge? St. Pat's through the hands they may have scored, but they may have run out of Parky, but she put a kick across there. A lot of effort there to go up in the sky from, I think it might have been Newton, and pops it back inside. And yeah, Liberty Hoth had a little bit of work to do, but goes over and scores the opening points of the grand final. The history-making, the first try in a grand final. There you go, Michael.
It is.
Remember, at BB Print.
Playing for the CQ University Shield. So that is the prize on offer in this final. And I was in the sheds John, as the teams lined up to come out onto the ground. As we see this replay again early on, this is the early part of the Marymount attacking raid. And as the girls lined up either side to run out in front of that big tunnel and that big crowd, they all wished each other the very best of luck. It was great to hear. They were genuine to wish each other luck. Just great spirit of confraternity. As we see this replay again, the catch and the offload.
Catch in the end there on the corner there, Brooke Newton.
So just some background to these teams here. They both played in some football before they've got here. 2 serious games for St. Pat's Mackay before this competition started as play resumes. Marymount College playing in the Titans Cup on the Gold Coast as well, as we have a knock-on here and a chance for St. Pat's Mackay to get some field position. So these girls teams have come in. They've got past the rain, particularly in southeast Queensland, which caused some troubles for Marymount's build-up, but they have managed to overcome that, get some training sessions together, some games. And, of course, Marymount played 3 pool matches at Confro 2021, which was shortened because of COVID. They didn't lose a game there. So they're 7 for 7 in Confro play, but this is the first time they've played in a finals match.
So scrum won by St. Pat's. And I'm sure Marymount won't have come up against a pretty parochial crowd as this one here of St. Pat's Mackay. That's the 10-metre line. Dart from dummy half. The lock forward goes for a run now is Gracie White. And Gracie White is close to the line there. Great defence there from Keely Harris. She'll get up and play. The dummy half is Johns. Put through the hands. It's wobbly. Going to go backwards. And it sort of breaks down a little bit of miscommunication. But that's probably because of the Marymount defence. Dart from dummy half, gets the offload and the prop forward, and Kira Thompson is held up.
What about that? A great lunge at the line, but the defence was up to it as well, and we've seen no shortage of physical clashes in these girls' matches. There's been some bell ringer hits. There's been some really courageous runs, so we can expect that over these 50 minutes.
Well, the 2 players to watch for Monikura Thompson and Chelsea McLeod as they go to the left-hand side. Catch and pass. The pass has gone a little bit too high. Has to come back into the field of play. There's Matson, and Matson will take the tackle. One in from the side line. That's a good tackle there by Brooke Newton. No, it was actually the number 6 there coming across. It's Emily Sheether.
And a good change over there. A good set of 6 by St. Pat's Mackay to press that, and now Marymount, they've got to bring it out. The interesting thing about the Marymount team is, we said they've been the benchmark team. They beat Emmaus Rockhampton on the first morning. It was game 1 of Confro 2022, and we've gone on during the week. That's the only game that Emmaus Rockhampton has lost. They did beat St. Pat's Mackay. So Marymount is just this team, as we see Lily Rose Kolk, who was the captain of the Makos, their nickname, and such an integral player for them. The thing about Marymount is that they don't have some of those dominant players that we've seen in some of the other teams, in the sense that they spread the load really well. They're a professional team. They minimise their errors. I say that touching wood for Marymount. And they're just a professional little team, as we see Kolk run again.
Kolk with her second carry in the set. Now it's the last tackle. So good defensive set. That's going to be kicked from the 35-metre line. Oh, did she get a hand to it? I think by the look on her face, Trinity Grigg has given it up and said, yes, she's touched it. And that will be a restart on the 38-metre mark. Well, you've got to feel for Trinity Grigg in front of a home crowd and probably family and friends as well. Just got a digit to it, and that's enough for Marymount to have another crack. The Makos. Harris takes a tackle of Thompson initially. Sheether goes for a run herself. The Sheether trying to gets a big contact there coming through there is Chelsea McLeod. So she ran a little bit sideways and probably easy pickings, a little bit help there from Lawson. Lock forward, and it's Skipper and Kolk, gets some good post-contact meters. That's the 20. Centre of the park. They come to this, that's some underball here, and there's half a chance to get through there.
Roll away on the line here. Hold. Go forward.
Numbers to the right. Here we go again. Crossfield kick underneath that is Newton. And in the end, it's been caught in the corner by the St. Pat's player.
Abby Matson with the catch out there on the left wing. She scrambled across well and took that to help St. Pat's get out of trouble here. The St. Pat's team coached by one of the teachers at their school in Doug Beddington. This is Doug's first year as a coach for the St. Pat's Mackay team. They have about 5 girls who played Confro 2021. Marymount have around about 9 girls, so a bit more Confro experience in the Marymount team.
Jones. And that's the last tackle. That's a good set here from St. Pat's. They need to get the kick away. The breeze is still a factor. Puts it up here, and it's going to go end over end. Goes, I thought it was going to go between. Falls over in the footing and picks it up and brings it back into the field of play. There is Caitlin Wallace, and Wallace will come down 33 metres out from her own line. So St. Pat's defence needs to be good but disciplined. Don't want to give away a penalty in this part of town. Catch and pass, and there's a knock on. You've got a feel for Sarah Dove.
I'd say that's an un-Marymount-like play, given I'd put the jinx on them before. I said they don't make too many mistakes, but good to see the Marymount boys team here. They were very valiant in their quarter-final on Tuesday afternoon, just lost to Cathedral College, but they're here supporting their schoolmates today as they try to get this first ever CQ University Shield.
We're looking at some highlights here from the first half so far, and most of those highlights are big hits, as you'd expect, and they're my favourites also, just saying. It's with Watt.
Up now. Oh.
Need to complete their set here. It's with Hazeldine. Hazeldine, good carry, Hazeldine. Look, needs a good quick play the ball here. They're starting to win the wrestle a little bit here on Marymount. They go to the right side. Careful, I thought it might have been an obstruction there, but Peyton Jones will take the tackle. Hazeldine, they go to this right-hand side. It's with Wheeler. She gets the offload to Falconer. Send it back inside. So, not going anywhere at the moment. Johns thinks about the kick. Instead throws Kira Thompson. Kira Thompson, get out of my way. 5 short now. Maybe another forward. They go to the left-hand side. Grab a kick here by Lawson.
Slips catch.
How about that?
That's a great slips catch. Just a change here for Marymount. Brianna Marion has come off. There's a little knock on here, so it'd be pressure for Marymount. This will test their defence here. Brianna Marion coming off a little leg injury, so she's been replaced. So a quick change in the back line.
Yeah, Tora Davis was the player who took that catch.
They're 25-minute halves here, John. No time off in this final, so 25-minute halves without time off.
And of course, unlimited interchange still remains.
That's it.
Yep.
Unlimited interchange. We get through this match.
Wait for the break.
Marymount coached by a staff member at Marymount, also Kim Smith. Done a great job with his team.
Jones has
Stand now, 13.
felt some bumps and bruises already in this game with some pretty solid hit-ups. Watt, Gracie Watt, going backwards to go forward. Quick play the ball. Here she goes again. Thompson! Thompson is close, but not close enough. Is there a way through this blue wall? Catch and pass, coming out of the line. Still keeping it alive. Going forward now is Mooney. Mooney gets close to the line. She'll stand in the tackle as well.
Release now. Here. Hold. Go. 4.
John's a dummy half. Now with Jones. Pops it out the back. Hazeldine.
Last tackle on the line.
Now it's the last.
Hold.
Johns, what does she do? Go herself, puts a grubber kick into the in goal area. Too deep. 7-tackle restart on the 20. Well done to Marymount. Their line remains intact. Michael Crutcher.
Yeah, line intact, and they had a few different opportunities there. St. Pat's Mackay, we see some big runs bumping off there, but that's what we mean about Marymount. There's a slips catch for you. They can do little things well. They connect well in defence, and especially in the middle. If St. Pat's Mackay are going to go through the middle, they've got to get through Lily Rose Cole, because she really keeps that middle of that defensive line intact with her communication and her cover as well.
Big hits out there. That was a good shot there from Lauren Jones. And again, Sophie Novosel. It's these big hits that will cause handling errors from the opposition. We see a little knock on here because
I think it's that push-off penalty that we've seen a few times here.
A few. There must be the favourite penalty of the referees. We'll go up there and we'll do this one. But
yes, there's been a crackdown in this carnival, John, as we discussed, about anyone taking umbrage with something that might have been in a tackle or play the ball and pushing off that marker.
But something that's these big hits, just when you bring the ball up, you have a bit of a second look to see who's going to come in and try and cut you in half. So it's a daunting prospect in the middle of the park. It's not for the faint-hearted here between these two forward packs. So going sideways is Peyton Johns. Go to this right-hand side. It's with Ava Wheeler, and Ava Wheeler gets some post-contact meters. They're right in the right-hand corner here, so they've got some meters. Not much of a back line, which is probably a bit of a concern here. It's with Bartolo, who scored tries here on day one. Last tackle, says the referee. 10 out. Can they get a repeat? Grubber kick into the in-goal area. They're not the biggest, but they can get a line dropout, and they will. Good kick there from Mercedes Lawson.
A really good kick to get a repeat set. I like the tackle of Elle Somerville in that last play there from Marymount's defence. A one-on-one tackle that had to be done. It was done very well. So St. Pat's Mackay will earn a try if they manage to get one. This will be tiring, though, for the Marymount girls. They've done a bit of work down this end now. It's great field position for St. Pat's, and they'll want to cash in.
Well, if St. Pat's can't get through, it'll be a tough ask. A couple of fens there coming from Hazeldean, and if Marymount can hold their line intact, well, they'll be buoyed by that. As Watt gets the offload now to Thompson,
who was here across there. Lily Rose Colt coming over to, again, make sure that tackle was made.
Again, they try the right-hand defence of Marymount to St. Pat's. It's a one-on-one situation here with the Bartolo and Hoth. Reaches out in front there. There's Lauren Jones, and Jones goes back the way the footy came. Will stand the tackle there of the fullback and Wallace. No way through this blue on the wall. Or is there? Flat-footed. Try time goes over and scores. Peyton Johns. And Peyton Johns, she's been dynamic, but she can put it down to the offload. Have a look at the replay here for Australia's Michael.
Yeah, great offload. You can see from Marymount, Caitlin Wallace coming across, but that is a well-deserved try for St. Pat's Mackay. A massive cheer out there too. The home crowd was happy about that. They just kept peppering away, didn't they? Then one little step got a couple of defenders from Marymount just off the pace, and they crash over it. And an important kick coming up here. These kicks in these matches are going to be so important. About 8 minutes to go here in this first half. Now, that try, Peyton Johns, there is that I guess spine for St. Pat's Mackay is so important for them. We've only got a few girls who are back from last year. Captain Mercedes Lawson is one of those. Sophie Novosel, the captain, is also back from last year. And there's also a big connection to the Wanderers club here in Mackay. So about 7 of the players play for the Wanderers as well. And I think that's where some of these combinations can be so important, as that is waved away to be 4-all. So we see, because the way that a lot of the boys' schools and the girls' schools don't get a chance to play a whole stack of games before they hit Confro, some of those combinations they develop at club level can be really important.
That was very important that they scored down there at St. Pat's. They threw everything in that blue line, and if they didn't get through in that back-to-back situation, it would have been the Brains Trust would have had to come into play and find another way around to get into the corner. And as for for Marymount, well, look, you can only defend for so long, and it was just a nice offload there. It was allowed Johns to go over and score. One thing I've noticed is I think the two forwards from St. Pat's have come to the side. To the sideline. So it'll be up to the not so bigger forward pack now to do it on their own, while the others have a rest, because we have gone 19 minutes in the 25-minute halves.
We've got a clock in play over here as well. John on the main scoreboard. That is a great tackle. Lily Rose Colkin gets a knock on. Boy, she is a very good player in that Queensland 19 setup, as we've said, and that's what she's capable of doing. That was a fantastic come across. Thank you very much. That'll be a one-on-one tackle, and ball just rolls free. Big chance here for Marymount. Important for St. Pat's to defend their line here, if they possibly can. Because after finally cracking the Marymount line, John, you've got to think St. Pat's don't want to see Marymount come down from the turnover and be on the front foot.
Last thing you want is to concede a try after scoring one. It's it just takes away all the effort and the momentum. They would have been on a high. They need to use that confidence of scoring tries to defend as well. So set play here, it's 5-on-4 on this side. So St. Pat's had stacked it, pops it out the back end, knocked back says the referee. Touchline comes and touchline it is. So actually it came from Trinity Gregg. So Trinity Gregg, who knocked it on earlier, her confidence would have been a little bit down there, but now it'll be sky high after dragging the Marymount player into touch. Have a look at this ball and all tackle. I'll tell you what, she's probably smaller than the Marymount player, but she's still able to get her into touch.
Yeah, probably lifted by this big home crowd who love that. And it's not just the people in the stand, it's the people above too in the hospitality areas. There's a stack of them up there. And of course all the other fields stop play for the final. So we normally have 6 fields going at once as we see another big piece of contact, but all other fields quiet right now as we watch this girls' final.
It is absolutely chock-a-block here at BB Prince Stadium here as we see Keely Pitt there, weave her way back into the field of play onto the 40. You can hear it's a hush when St. Pat's have got the footy, isn't it? They're just willing a break or not willing a handling error. Halfway line's right there. Bartolo will get up. Now, if my memory serves me, I'm just trying to work out that player. She was dynamic once. Yes, it is. It's Ella Webb. Remember the long hair and the headgear, so watch out for her when she comes into play. Nicely taken. A lot of pressure coming through. Penalty's going to go to Marymount, I think, inside the 10.
Yeah, just a bit too enthusiastic on the chase there. So a chance for Marymount. We've got 3 minutes 20 remaining on the scoreboard here. So a chance for them to get down there.
Kerry Peak just a little bit too enthusiastic there, but better the penalty to come in at that end of the field. And just a reminder that there is a breeze that is favouring Marymount at the moment. It doesn't seem to be giving them any favouritism too much. And for mine, I think it's only the line dropout from the northern end that really is an advantage to anyone. We haven't seen that as yet, so blindside. Show and go. Almost gets through. Thinking about the pass there is Sheetha. That was good meters there from Sheetha. She was allowed to run.
Great meters followed up by a good hit up as well there from Keely Harris.
Working as a unit here, Marymount. They haven't been defeated in every game of Confro so far. And it's with the replacement player Sarah Dove. And Sarah Dove will get twisted on the 30-metre line. Sheetha a dummy half. It's error. Well, Sarah Dove pleads her case, as does everybody else. And since the beginning of time, my friends, the referee has never changed their mind.
That's right.
I can guarantee you.
We have 2 minutes left here, so you'd have to think that there's a good chance we'll be 4-4 at half-time unless there's a bit of late magic. And we're set up for a great second half because there's very little between these teams at the moment.
All I can see is shaves of fingernails getting strewn across BB Prince Stadium at the moment. Some nervous spectators because this is history. It is absolutely chock-a-block here at BB Prince Stadium. And on the far side, it's half full as well. So there's a plethora of people. Speaking to Troy Ravelli, who commentated earlier, who's the former CEO, his mathematics, if I can put it into place, we're looking at about 3,000 people here for this grand final. Unbelievable.
Yes, and it's great to see that Confraternity Carnival stop the games on the other fields just so people can get here.
That's respect, yeah. Totally.
It's well worth it so far with 1 minute and 10 seconds to go.
Hazeldean will get up. Whoa, contact. That might have been Colt coming through and putting a shot there on McLeod. No, it wasn't. It's actually Sarah Dove who came up with the error, so she took it out on poor old McLeod. That kick's going to be allowed to bounce. It goes end over end. Oh, she has knocked it on. I thought she just picked it up. So look out. We've got a minute to go. Needs a quick scrum. They don't have a clock. Oh, yes, they do have a clock. They can see 40 seconds.
Yes, the first time the players have been able to see how long is remaining in a half. Normally they wait for the siren to go, but they can see there's 30 seconds left now, so a massive set here.
3 tackles, I would suggest. Jones. And I think if it's 4-all half-time, I think that's a fair measure of the game. Hazeldine. Hazeldine, close. One more play, you would think. Does Johns go from dummy half? No. Goes himself, the halfback. She's close to the try line, scrambling to the Blues. Now it's the last. Trying to charge through now is McLeod, and McLeod, the Marymount defence stays strong, and that is half-time. What a half of rugby league. 4-all, Michael Crutcher. The crowd are clapping in appreciation. Doesn't get any better than that for a grand final. And what a final 25 minutes we got to go.
Oh, it should be fantastic. 4-all. What is here? I think that fatigue will be a big factor in the next half. 25 minutes. The 50-minute games are longer than the girls have played this week. So I think that these next 25 minutes will be very exciting and deliver us an historic first winner.
All right, we can see players with hands on hips, the Sugar Bowl, because they're exhausted. An exhilarating first 25 minutes. We'll be back with a second 25 minutes in this historic game at Confro. It's Marymount 4, St. Pat's College Mackay 4. We'll be back with the second half very soon.
For me, it's an opportunity to learn without restrictions.
It's the coach I need to always improve my game.
It's being a brother to another.
It's the chance to perform at my highest potential.
It's understanding the importance of our historical community.
So what can St Edmunds do for you?
We are
men of faith,
men of learning.
men of humility,
We are
men of action.
We are
We are
We are
St. Patrick's College, Shorncliffe.
We see you, working hard, juggling, dreaming, climbing. We see your ambition, your dedication. We see you gaining confidence in our spaces and on our screens. Yeah, we see you doing more and going further. With CQ University Australia, it's time to be what you want to be.
Well, I don't know about you, Michael Crutch, but I'm nervous. 4-all, Marymount St. Pat's, a try apiece, a try in the 3rd minute to Liberty Hoth for the Makos from Marymount, and then the 17th minute, Peyton John scores a try, both unconverted, and there's an error from Mercedes Lawson.
An error from the start. You feel for St. Pat's Mackay after the half-time chat, 5-minute break, back into it. There's not much time between halves, but yeah, here comes Marymount with a chance here, and you just get the feeling that this is going to be a half early on of 1%ers as they make a very good run to start with through Miller Ferguson.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's too much either coach could say at half-time. I think they were equally as impressive defence and an attack. I think it was just hang into the grind, back each other, support each other, and let's see what comes out the back end of this game here. So catch and pass. Gee, they're keeping it alive here, America. Still keeping it alive. Goes back inside, and she'll go over and score, and El Somerville will score the first points of the second half. And that comes on the back of the error from the kickoff.
That's a professional Marymount try, that one. That's what we've seen of them across 2 confraternity carnivals. They get little things right a lot. Look at the way that could have been a lost ball. It was held on, some of it with a step. There were numbers out to the right, doesn't need them, goes over, and that's a great start to Marymount. They've capitalised on that early error from St. Pat's Mackay. They couldn't shake them off in the first half, though, John, so we know that St. Pat's Mackay definitely have the ability to come back in this game.
And that's what I talk about, just back each other. And that's what they did Marymount. They knew they had support out or beside each other, just kept it alive, and in the end there was just that little gap there for Somerville to score. And I'm not sure whether you get to convert your own try, but she's going to have a shot at from here. She's got it in the right spot, just to the right it needs to be aimed. That breeze, but needs the legs.
There's a breeze coming straight across the field at the moment. Not as strong as the other days, but a factor.
Score remains 8-4.
We looked at some of the other girls' games when they've been late in the game and fatigue's kicked in. And we've seen it, John, where you've seen some of the teams really go to some of their dominant players in those last little bit. We'll see the same for this game, I'm sure, as you watch this replay of the try. That's a great grab there from Piper Stockel, who got that ball away, and just the defence just couldn't scramble enough for St. Pat's Mackay. But one of Marymount's advantages is just some of those options they have. An attackers play restarts, the likes of Caitlin Wallace at fullback, the halfback Lexi Samuels, and also Hayley Sheether with Lily Rose Kolk. We see a great hit there, Lily Rose Kolk as well. So there's some options there for Marymount. The likes of El Somerville we saw just then as well.
Let's go back and play on the mark. The penalty. The crowd thought there was a penalty. The predominantly St. Pat's Mackay crowd. We just wanted to go back. Yes, you're quite right. They need to stay in the contest here, St. Pat's. Don't think about it because we've still got 24 minutes of play still to go. There she's again, that back row of Miller Ferguson. They've got a back line here. Said the Piper Stockwell will straighten the play. Skipping away to the try line and hanging on for dear life around the ankles was, I think it might have been the hooker there, and Johns.
Lost a boot too.
Last tackle now here for Marymount. They're 35 metres out from the try line. They still reach out for it, Kolk. Catch and pass, Davis, and Davis will take that tackle, and that'll be a changeover. And she's looking out. I don't think she knew, because she's looked up to say, what have I done wrong? If you haven't done anything wrong, you just didn't hear the last play.
Yeah, I don't think that was clear. But still, not bad position here for Marymount if they can just defend. They defend well. We see another good hit there. Gee, they've got a few options in defence, Marymount. They just keep coming, and they're well coordinated in defence. They talk well. They cover well for each other if someone tends to miss. So that's the challenge awaiting St. Pat's Mackay. They've got to try and find a way through here. They did it in the first half through repetition of sets. But even there you see again the cover tackle comes and a forward pass is called. So they do it well. Communication and defence, we know. Positioning, just having yourself in the right spot and talking is so important. And they probably do it better than any team in this girls' comp we've seen so far, which is why they're unbeaten.
Actually, there's a big shot coming through there from Ferguson, but... Ooh, okay. But I was actually surprised when that whistle blew. I thought the referee was playing advantage, because for mine, Marymount were really a long way offside. It was for a forward pass, so Marymount survive. Ooh, a bit of a juggle there. It's going to be with Lexi Samuels. She's going to be bent over. Ava Wheeler. Good defensive player, Ava Wheeler. Still getting these post-contact meters, aren't they, Marymount? They're winning the wrestle. They're getting up and playing the ball quite quickly. Somerville, try scorer.
Some of these Marymount girls have no problems with contact whatsoever. They throw themselves, and St. Pat's doing a great job to try to keep them at bay. Then they keep managing to do it, St. Pat's and Mackay, so they're up to the challenge so far.
Stockwell also been strong. Again, they come to this right-hand side trying to put some pressure on the left-hand defence here of St. Pat's. Still not dead, still not held, says the referee. Pop pass, prop forward, wants to go for a low. Keely Harris is going to be close. Last tackle now here for Marymount. St. Pat's hanging on for everything. Colk, they got numbers out to the left-hand side. Kick, crossfield kick, is it too big? Just has to catch it. Does so! Oh, what a catch and what a try! Oh, it doesn't get any better than that. Pinpoint kick. Great catch. They were short on the right-hand side with St. Pat's. And that's a lovely crossfield kick. Finds its mark. And the Makos, the Sharks, have scored again.
That was the key play in the lead-up. Break from Lily Rose Colk, and they just kept coming. They kept coming in attack. They held the ball. They had the St. Pat's Mackay defence scrambling. How about that left-foot kick? Lexi Samuels. This is a fantastic kick, and the take as well.
I think it's Emily Sheath has come up with the try.
I thought it might have been the 5 on the back.
Could be. The hairs sort of got in our way.
Sienna Jones with the catch over the shoulder, the hardest catches to make. So St. Pat's Mackay be disappointed they've fallen behind 12-4, but when you're conceding tries to kicks and catches like that, there's no shame in that. That was a fantastic execution from the right. The key run again was Colk's run from dummy half. She took off and scooted. A good run, and she just kept finding offloads to the right. So a chance here now, an important kick if Marymount can get this with the wind going the right way for this kick.
It's got enough legs, and it's there. Wow, there you go. Number 5 was the try scorer, you're right. Michael Crutcher in Sienna Jones. And the conversion as well from Somerville. We'll look at the replay once again here for Struddies. Had a lot there, so you can see that player on screen. That's the winger. That has the has to do all the work out there in defence and just weighted numbers. And what a catch that was over the shoulder. It looked like Fatty Vorton.
Over the shoulder and in the fingertips. That is a wonderful try to Marymount. So the challenge now for St. Pat's, they've got this big crowd behind them. They're willing them on. That'll make up 10 points in a bit more in this last 16 minutes. If we do have scores tied, we go to extra time. 5 minutes each way to see if we can sort out a winner of this historic first CQ University Shield.
I think they need to capitalise on any errors that they can conjure up here from Marymount. But the Makos, well, as you said, Michael Crutcher, they've yet to taste defeat at Confro. And the first one they don't want to concede would be a grand final, especially a historic one like this. So Marymount from Burleigh up against Mackay in St. Pat's. A break down the left-hand side and coming across from defence there was Ava Wheeler. Brings down Tora Davis. Now's the laugh, says the referee. They're 5 metres inside St. Pat's territory. Crossfield kick. It's going to go end over end and beat everybody. Even the Green Lantern wouldn't have got that one, I'm afraid.
The wind pushing that across.
Change over on the 30.
We go back to last year. We've mentioned that we had pool matches, and before we could play finals, we had the COVID lockdown, which sent everyone scrambling away from Iona College's excellent carnival just to get back to their home places. Mackay was one of those on a bus straight back here. I know the boys from St. Pat's Mackay, I know their bus left at 2 in the afternoon and arrived here at 6:30 in the morning, straight through the night. Marymount hadn't lost a game as we get, and a penalty for an obstruction there, which will be very handy for Marymount. So Marymount had won 3 matches last year, hadn't lost. They looked as though they had claims to be the first winners of the Shield then. 9 players from that team are back here now, and they all say it just feels as though they've been waiting so long to try and have another crack at this, and they've got a chance right now, both teams here, with 15 minutes left.
Lauren Jones comes over the top there to complete that tackle. And there's a little knock on. No, is it a...
That's a knock on in the play the ball there. So we're going to have a scrum and a chance here for St. Pat's Mackay to make a move down to the end of the field. They need to peg back this lead.
I wasn't sure because they looked a little bit upset there to the St. Pat's players. I thought they must have conceded a penalty initially, but obviously they've obviously said, yeah, it was knock on, so it should be a scrum, sir. So they win this one.
This will be a time of the game too when the St. Pat's Mackay players are going to have to dig deep. They're going to have to push up looking for potential runs that beat the line for offloads. This is going to be all energy for St. Pat's Mackay with 14 minutes left. If you want to peg back the team that's been the best team in Confro in the first two editions, you've got to take every chance you get. They'll have to dig deep, but they've got the crowd here, John, and this sort of crowd will get anyone going, and here's a penalty to get them downfield.
Well, we've seen it probably for most of the carnival. There have been forward packs that have been bigger than the other packs, and we saw it this morning in St. James's game against, I think it was...
Chisholm.
Chisholm had a smaller forward pack. They went wide, they went around. There's a big shot coming through here. Arms and legs everywhere, and a super tackle.
Who else but Lily Rose Colk?
That's a beautiful shot there on Chelsea McLeod. And so I think, and he's now here at Thompson, I think that's what they need to do now, St. Pat's. They need to use their nimble-footed players out wide here. They can't get through this blue and white forward pack here. There's a ball and all tackle on Lexi Samuels. They need to go wide, a kicking game, if they can do it. Just keep it, get the offloads, win the quick play of the ball, get to their feet quickly and try and get some penalties and field position. So there's a tackle there coming through from Sarah Dove. Dummy half run here from Johns. This is what they need to do. Looking for another quick play. The ball is Ava Willett. She'll drop out. It's going to be Lawson's going to pick it up. Grab a kick in here. I think she was offside. The referee called her out here. So that's going to be a changeover as they pick it up and run it out from the 10-metre line.
Yeah, and we mentioned before, here's a chance for St. Pat's Mackay. There'll be a turnover here, but that first try that St. Pat's Mackay scored came from an offload and a tackle. They're going to have to do this now. 12 minutes left to go. This defensive line, like you say, John, has been so good. This is game number 5 now where it's been really good. They let Emmaus Jimboomba, who were third in this competition, they beat St. Pat's Mackay. They have been a very good team. They let them score 1 try, and that was in the last minute. So that's how good their defence has been over this carnival. So a big challenge for St. Pat's Mackay, and that will not make Doug Beddington rest any easier down there on the sideline as he watches their team. They've played so well for him over this carnival.
It's just over enthusiasm trying to get that ball out. So now they'll have to defend. It's a 4-4. 4 against 4 in the back line from that scrum. So that's the 10. They need to defend well and not give away any relieving penalties.
One of the great things about Confro, John, here we've got a team from Mackay and a team from the Gold Coast. And where else would they meet during the year? Here we have them in front of a massive crowd. It's a great offload, which Colk has got again. And here they are playing for a much prize shield in the school holidays with excellent skill on display.
Yeah, and the first name on that shield, how good, history making. And, 20 or 30 years' time, they'll say, I played in Confro, check our name out, Marymount at the top, if they were to win this game, of course. We're not over yet. Samuels puts a kick over the top, chases good, knocks it on, play on, and I think that might be Grigg. She'll go out and play it.
You can't say there's no action in this game. There's been plenty out there. Kicks, regathers, balls bouncing away from players.
One out, there's a high shot penalty, so that's another relieving one here. Just a lazy arm from Colk.
The referee might just call out Lily Rose Colk here just to have a word to her about that, but not much in it. But you get the impression that the St. Pat's Mackay players are probably thinking there's no time off for you. Just keep rolling.
Talk to her later.
Just keep rolling. We want to play.
Text her, whatever. Just let us have the footy. So they're going to kick for touch, and why not? The Breeze at her back. It's a pretty good kick.
That's a great kick.
All right, and you hear the crowd. Well, the crowd clap now, but I'll tell you what, you could hear a pin drop while I was left the boot on the way to the sideline because they thought maybe that's not going to go out.
That's a magnificent kick, and look where it puts them, just over 20 metres out, so a big chance here.
Under 10 minutes to go as Paige Mooney fearlessly charges into the blue wall. The Makos, can they hang on? 14-4. They probably need to score in this set of 6 here. Grab from the collar from behind. The two 13s come together. Portolo, she's already scored one. Portolo, she almost got there. Great defence there from Ferguson. She's on her way to the try line. Now she's going to go for a run herself, Mercedes Lawson, but she can't get across or in between those big forwards. Catch it, pass. It's going to be Greg will have to pick it up here and bring it back to the field. 6 more, says the referee. Greg! Oh! Greg was on the way to the try line. She's going to get up. I don't know whether she knows she just got up. Here she goes again. It's with Watt, and Watt will get to the try line. Scores! You can tell by the crowd. They're happy. Watt scores a try. 14 points to 8. Oh, marvellous stuff. Big hits. And a 4-pointer, Michael Crutcher.
Oh, how about Miller Ferguson here, if you don't mind, with some help there as well from Sarah Dove. But what about this? You've got to find a way through the Merrimack defence. Here's what you do. You become a contortionist. And you twist your body, you hold onto the ball, and you put it over the line. That is a magnificent try scored by Gracie Watt from St. Pat's Mackay, and she does Lauren Jones a massive favour by scoring right next to the uprights for a kick that will be extremely important and give us a finish we were hoping for.
Conversion is successful. The crowd's happy. 14-10. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got the flexibility of a barbecue plate. Gracie Watt doesn't, because that's an unbelievable try. But have a look at this shot first. Oh. Boom. Greg gets absolutely torn in half. Still gets up nice and quick. 6 to go, says the referee. And she only needed 1 and reaches out and scores. And the clapping heads in the foreground there from Miller Ferguson.
And not only did she manage to twist her body like that, she got through 4 defenders in the end, including one who tried to strip the ball late. So that's the mark of that Merrimack defence. They'll throw everything they can at you, but this has set the game up nicely. That little cushion that Merrimack had has almost disappeared. We've got 7 minutes of play left. Like we said, no time off, so we've got a big 7 minutes coming up here.
Yeah, Lauren Jones in the foreground there. I called the name wrong, so it's going to... AFL catch. You can hear the crowd go, oh. She caught it in the end, and she knew what she was doing. Does it every day. Ella Webb will get up and play it.
And there's one of the mistakes. I was about to say how important that ball retention and field position will be there. But you can't blame these girls. Like we say, this is carnival footy. This is not playing every week. This is playing 5 games in the space of 4 days, effectively. Or if you put it out, it's really 72 hours between they play these 5 games, and this one a 50-minute game. So mistakes happen because players are tired, and carnival footy is so much different to playing every week.
So, courageous tackle there from... might have been Hurley. They need to hang on here. Like I said, can't score a try and then concede one straight away. Cole could get up and play it. Dart from dummy half from Sheetha. Looking for a one-on-one strip. Doesn't get it. Tackle there is Ella Webb again. Colk. Looking for a netball pass over the top here, trying to get through is Wallace, and Wallace will give it over onto the corner, and I think that might be referee's check with a touch judge, and that'll be a try.
Wow, try to Merrimount. How important will that try be? Off to the left. They looked as though they were really lining up for each other on the right on the tackle before, turned it around left, and that defence was trying to scramble back across, but it was difficult to get back across there as quickly as they want. You can see the fingers being pointed now, hoping they can get out there. A player short definitely on that right side. But the basketball pass there from Samuels and the step from Wallace. We mentioned before that those spine players were going to be so important, and they get there with the try to number 15, Zoe Gilbert with the try. And how important will that try be, John, in the history of this Confraternity CQ University Shield.
Yeah, they had a lot of confidence, but it just came from an error again, a little knock-ons. It can be. We talk about cricket being a game of inches and millimetres, but rugby league can be the same. You just knock on a little ball, just enough. 18-10, the conversion is going to be tough, but with 4.5 minutes remaining, you'd have to think that a short kickoff is going to come from St. Pat's, and they will need to score in that set of 6.
We saw the tackle before that try when they went out to the right as the kick falls short, but when they went into the right, and that's what that Marymount attack can do, because they keep lining up for each other and they have really good shape in attack, they draw defenders with them. So they drew those defenders over to the St. Pat's left, and they didn't have time to scramble back to the right. And when you got dangerous runners like Samuels and Wallace, who can keep defenders in two minds, and the smart play there from Lily Rose Kolk, we know that she's a handful when she's got the ball, but she saw the danger for St. Pat's Mackay out on their right side, so she shifted the ball left straight away, and that was a key move in that try.
And Zoe Gilbert actually just looked up to see whether the try was going to be awarded. She was surprised herself that she got across the line. I think she was just, I've got the foot in my hand, just fall over and score the try, and she did. Might be a premiership winning try at that. It's the CQ University Shield being played for the very first time.
And we've got a presentation on the field after this match, so there'll be awards presented to the best players from each of the 9 teams that's contested this first full Confraternity Girls Carnival. So that'll be coming up afterwards, a presentation of the shield and individual awards for 2 players from each team.
Stockwell.
Last tackle up now.
Underneath that there is Lawson. She'll get up.
Go, last 16, you're not square.
Last tackle. They're going to put it through the hands. Now they put the kick through. There's Samuels.
One.
And Bartolo will run it out. That's the 20 she crosses.
Oh!
Caught from behind. That was Kolk, I think.
Of course it was, yes. Kolk coming from behind and forcing the error. The second time she's forced an error in this game through her defence. So you think with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left on the clock here, that run from behind from Kolk, she had assistance in the tackle as well. That sets Marymount up here for, you'd think, a victory lap in this last 2 minutes.
You don't know what's coming when somebody hits you from behind, so it would have been a complete shock, and then obviously dislodged the footy. So it's with Wallace.
One up now.
Caitlin Wallace gets within 20 of the try line. Is there one more try in them? Stockwell takes a shot down and tackle there from Mercedes Lawson. They've taken it's with Ferguson. They've taken the crowd out of it, haven't they, Marymount?
Yeah, you can just feel the disappointment in the crowd for the St. Pat's Mackay girls. They've tried so hard this week. They've given it their all, but they've come up against a very good team.
Yeah, but they're in the grand final.
That's
they're
right.
in the grand final. Should be pretty proud about that. The very first grand final. It was to see try scorer Somerville get held up here.
And real defence till the end here. We've got a minute left on the clock, and they're still defending like that to protect their try line. But look, Marymount, they've got a minute left now. They are the deserving champions. This is their 8th game in Confraternity Carnival history. They haven't lost one of them. They deserve to win this. It was the unfinished business from last year as they go across field. The unfinished business, they jumped on the school bus back to Marymount 12 months ago. They were so excited about their finals prospects. They didn't get a chance to play in those games because of the COVID lockdown that cancelled the carnival. They've waited 12 months. They brought 9 players back here under coach Kim Smith, who has done a fantastic job. They brought them back here. They've had a long-range goal to try to win Confraternity Carnival, to win this CQ University Shield, and John, they're 10 seconds away from doing it.
St. Pat's will work it out from their own end. Tries to Mako's Liberty Hoth in the 3rd minute. Somerville in the 26th minute. Tackle there. Jones in the 22nd. Full time. And Marymount have remained undefeated in this carnival. They've won the CQ University Shield 18 points to 10. It hung in the balance with about 5 minutes to go, but a try in the corner there to Zoe Gilbert. But in the end, Michael Crutcher, what a game of rugby league.
It was a great game of rugby league. Congratulations to both teams on that. St. Pat's Mackay were excellent today. They couldn't get the job done, but they've been beaten by a team that has been the best team in Confraternity Carnival. They deserved it. They were excited the whole time. You could see their body language every time they scored a try. They pulled off a good tackle. They were there for each other. You saw maybe in the background Brianna Marion, the number 3 for Marymount. She's got a leg injury, but she hobbled across that field with speed to join in the celebrations. It means a lot to those players. As we said, 9 players back from last year for Marymount. They've waited a long time to get back there, and important to them, those key players, the spine members, Caitlin Wallace, Lexi Samuels, Lily Rose Kolk in the 13, but playing different roles in attack. They were integral to what they did, the likes of Elle Somerville. There's too many of those players to mention there. Hayley Sheether in the number 9 jersey. The experience of last year, the coaching of Kim Smith and her coaching staff, and the commitment to go out there and play for each other, which is what Confraternity Carnival is all about. You play with your mates from school. It's not a club comp, it's carnival footy. You play with them, you make memories here that last for a lifetime, and we can see the Mako's girls now celebrating on that field. It'll be an emotional time for them. St. Pat's Mackay girls played in front of a massive home crowd. They won't be able to forget that for a long time. They had great support here, and they should have their heads held high as well, John. And that's just a part of today. There's some massive games today. This, of course, is a very special game. And for the local crowd, in 1.5 hours, they'll be here to watch St. Pat's Mackay boys in a Confraternity Shield semi-final against the Cathedral College. So the action continues after this presentation ceremony, John.
All right, well, there's nothing better than calling a grand final. Still get the hair on the back of my neck. 18 points sent Marymount over St. Pat's. And we'll go to the presentation very, very soon, so stay tuned.